This makeup is for when you're healing but still need to slay.
Is about enhancing, not hiding. And then I put it up on my cheekbones going up because it's like snatched.
Hey, it's me, Divine Mix, and this makeup is for when you're healing but still need to slay. And I'm gonna walk you through every single step I took to get here. Let's go.
First thing we're gonna do is warm up our eyes because this routine is about enhancing, not hiding. And let me show you how I approach makeup with precision and ease. So we wanna just warm up the eyes, warm up the eyelids, do a little flick towards the eyebrows to kind of give us that definition. Then we're gonna take concealer and we're going to try to give ourselves a nice cut crease. Now it's okay if you go a little bit over your lid because we're gonna touch up that area and put it all together. But the thing I want you to know when it comes to this cut crease that we're doing is we need to also get to like a little wing action for the cut crease. Why? Because we're gonna use a very, very light color on top of this cut crease area, and we want it to pop. Now, if you lean into more full glam or soft natural, let me know, because right now this is like a hybrid eyeshadow makeup look. You can kind of use it with soft glam, a little bit of mix and match in between. Really, you could kind of mix it up anywhere, but it is such a nice and flowing look, and it's meant to bring warmth and vibrancy to your face, as well as make your eyes look bigger, bolder, and just so beautiful, as they already are, of course. Now, this cut crease part took a bit of time for me because I'm not a big cut crease person, so I just wanted to make sure we touched up on everything. Next, we're taking the white eyeshadow. I actually just took this from a highlight and contour palette because I never knew the power of white eyeshadow until I started using it. You can use it to brighten, you could use it just as an eyeshadow look. I personally love putting white eyeshadow on the inner corner of my eyes instead of a highlight or a glitter. I feel like the white eyeshadow actually brightens, whereas the highlight just adds a lot of shine to the face, and sometimes it can be a bit distracting, whereas white eyeshadow is a bit more subtle. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put that white eyeshadow on the inner corners of the eyes as well as the outer corners and into that wing that we tried to do with the cut crease. And if it's not perfect or it looks a bit crazy, remember, makeup is a step-by-step process. Sometimes it does not look good until you finish it. So do your best to get to the end. I promise you it will come out better than you realized, as long as you take your time and you really try to enjoy the process. Now, what is your ride or die product that you will never let go of? Because for me right now, as I said, it's really this white eyeshadow highlight contour powder that's going on, because I have been using it in almost every single makeup look that I have done, and it's kind of becoming my holy grail. So just letting you know, we're kind of doing like an inverted halo eye. A halo eye is usually when you put the lightest color on the apple of your eye, which is the middle. We're not doing that. The lightest color is on the outer and the inner corner of your eye. Now we're gonna take a nice shade of brown, a little bit lighter or darker depending on what you want to do than what you warmed your eyes with. I went a little bit lighter, but that's because I'm gonna add some shimmer and shine as we go. So I'm taking the brown and I'm putting it right in the center of my eye, and then I'm fluffing out the edges so that way it blends in with that white eyeshadow. Really take your time in with the blending, because You don't want to look streaky, you don't want to look choppy, and a nice blend in between the colors honestly makes all the difference. Like, can you see it? A little bit, right? It's not just like a color block, so it's really nice. For me, this makeup so far is saying bold. But let me know, if your makeup could speak right now, what would it be saying? Please tell me. So since this makeup is saying that it's bold, I'm just taking my highlighter palette and I'm adding a little bit of shimmer to the halo of our eyes, so right on the apple. And I'm actually using two different shimmers. One I'm using right on the apple, right on top of the brown, and then the other I'm using above the eye at the creases, so that way it blends in smoothly. Then I'm gonna take a brown liner. I'm trying to stick with brown because I feel like it's not too harsh on my face. But yeah, I'm taking a brown liner and I'm only doing the upper waterline. I am going from inner corner to outer corner on that top line. I know it's subtle, but it really does open your eyes. And then I'm gonna take this peach eyeliner for the bottom waterline because I do want my eyes to be open and awake, but I don't want it to be too striking, especially because for me sometimes having a white waterline is just too bold and too much. From there, I'm just going to take that same brown I used on the apple of my eyelid to just line the bottom, so that way it doesn't cause that peach waterline to go down, but also it adds a little bit of depth and definition. And then I'm going back in with a brown liquid liner just to do a nice wing that kind of blends into the white that we did before. Now really with this, that white eyeshadow should still be seen on top. It creates a nice contrast, and then that brown liner can just make everything look sharp and put together. And you could always fix that with a bit of concealer if it's not too perfect. Me personally, I'm always good on one side of my eye when it comes to doing eyeliner, and then the other side is just a hot mess. So I'm also going in with a little bit of that same brown eyeshadow to just do a little inner corner. And I'm touching up with that shine that I put on the crease, and I'm just putting a little bit underneath the eyes so that way we have more eye catching. And then let's just curl our lashes. This one's optional, but now mascara is definitely not optional. They make your eyes bold, big, and the only other suggestion I would be saying is, if you have lashes, you could always replace the mascara with lashes. But outside of that, put the mascara on, please. I'm telling you, it really makes a difference, especially when you put it on the top and bottom lash. Opens your eyes up so much more. Now that we have finished the hardest part, all we have to do is our base. So get that color corrector if you need it. This is optional, but if you have any spots, any dark circles, feel free to touch that up right now and just make sure that's set before we get into anything else. The goal is to look flawless as always. Then we're going to take our concealer, and of course if you did mess up on your liquid eyeliner for the wing, you could always use this concealer as you're patting it down for your under eyes to just kind of sharpen up that wing line by dragging it up and across, and it'll fix it up for you. Outside of that, just get your concealer in there. Personally for me, I like to use as little as possible and build it up. It prevents creasing that way. Now we're going to take our contour, and I actually just want to do this very simple, getting my forehead, a little bit of my nose, and just 2 dots on my cheeks. The reason I'm doing the dots is because I notice if I do the dots and just bring it down, it gives myself a little bit of that like model-esque kind of look to it where they have a sharper cheekbone. So that's what I was trying to do. And then I just take the highlight from my contour, and I just put that really on my nose and my forehead because that's where I want the attention. And then I set my whole face with setting powder. I try to keep this as light as possible. Too much setting powder makes your face look cakey and grainy, and we don't want that to happen. We just want a nice matte look, and after some time, you know, just wipe that off. If this is your favorite part, because it's my favorite part, just wiping off the excess powder, let me know. From there, I take my blush and I literally put it on the edge of my nose so that way it gives me that kind of cute look. And then I put it up on my cheekbones going up because it's like snatched, right? So a little cute with a little snatch, it uplifts my face, and I am always grateful for that. Whatever excess I have, I do try to put on my forehead. And we're going to keep the lips very simple with lip gloss since our eyes are the main focal point of this makeup. Not least, we are going to set the makeup.
Alright guys, so this is the final makeup look. What do you think? Nice, right? And it's beautiful. It can work for elegant, it can work for daytime. And the thing I love about it the most is that it's like an inverted halo eye, which means you have brightness on the inner corner and outer corner of your eye, which one brightens your face, brightens your eyes, draws attention to your eyes, makes your eyes look bigger, make you look vibrant and happier as well. So I hope this tutorial was able to help you with that. And if this resonated with you, or if you want to see more tutorials or anything else, please let me know all in the comments below. Of course, you do not have to respond if you don't want to, but thank you for even taking time to see this video. Alright then, bye!